I'm Christian, and the Crucible Project really made a difference in my life. A year ago, I got married to the love of my life, Christina, and we had Pastor James marry us, and so we wanted to check out his church. And so we checked out his church, and from day one, I just knew every sermon was speaking to me, and I knew that that's where I needed to be because, you know, this being my third marriage after 2 divorces, I had a fear that, you know, I might end up on that cycle again. And I was afraid, you know, I want to be the best man possible for this woman, but, you know, I just didn't know what I needed or what I needed to do differently because, you know, I was in this cycle of drinking, vaping, playing video games, being, you know, being anxious and worrying about things that I probably shouldn't be worrying about, and, you know, not really being decisive as a man. And so I wanted to make sure that, you know, going into this marriage, I was doing all the best things that I could do. And so going to Journey, one of the first couple of sermons that Pastor James talked about was the thin red line, and that really spoke to me about wearing the armor for God and being a man in my household, because I never felt like I had that before. And, you know, I want to make sure that I'm doing the best possible job I can as a man to provide and to support my wife. That really spoke to me, but still, I had a calling, you know, inside. I knew that, you know, maybe there's more. And so, sure enough, a couple weeks later, they brought up some people on stage that had gone to Crucible Project, and just all their stories just inspired me. You know, talking about their experiences, and the thing is how unique everybody's life experiences were, but yet there's still so many commonalities between people's stories, and it just spoke to me because. You know, it's what I felt inside of me. And so so I looked into the Crucible Project. I had talks with, you know, Jeremy and James and Dave, and, you know, they told me about a little bit more about their experiences. And, you know, I went online and I found the Crucible Project and other men's stories, and that's when I knew I had to go because you know, I just knew I had a bigger purpose, and I needed something else to do. And so feeling lost, you know, I signed up for Crucible Project. It was a big leap of faith because I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know what was going to come out the other side. And so I went, you know, I signed up after, you know, I waited a couple months and I went, but my initial weekend in North Carolina was amazing. I made so many brothers there. I can't really necessarily talk too much about what happened, but I could tell you I would do that weekend a million times for that feeling that I got and everything that's come after the Crucible Project. I feel like it's really helped me become a better husband, better man, be more purposeful. You know, no more late nights of video games, no more, you know, drinking, you know, no more vaping, and truly just changed my mindset, and also brought me closer to God in a way that I never thought before. I really faced a fire while I was there, and I worked through some things from, you know, my childhood, because there's things that, you know, intended or unintended, that happened with my, you know, my family or my father growing up. It affected me as a man, and so it truly helped me figure out who I was, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so grateful for the Crucible Project and James and every person at this church that's gone there. And so I just hope that, you know, you'll look into the Crucible Project and you'll look into yourself and see what you may or may not need. And you know, if this is something that you're interested in, you know, I truly feel like you should look into it and do yourself a favor.
Got to Crucible. How'd you feel when you pulled up?
When I got to Crucible, I was scared because, you know, going up the mountain up to the retreat in North Carolina, that slow drive on the windy curves, you know, it's like, I don't know what's coming. And so I started getting anxious and, you know, worrying about what's going to happen. So I was just very scared for myself, and yeah.
How'd you feel afterwards?
Oh man, what I felt afterwards was just such a feeling of pride and joy, like true joy, That I hadn't really felt. I felt full from God, and I felt full from, the brothers I had made, and that's something that feeling empty my whole life, searching to be full through, alcohol and, every other thing, and pornography and all the, sinful things, in my life, that wasn't really doing it for me. And, but just the weekend to work through my, my past and my pain, I finally felt a sense of fullness in myself as a man, and knowing that God was really, He really showed up for me that weekend. So.
For the person who keeps putting it off and saying, I don't know, like, what would you say to the person who's on the fence about going?
If I had to say some words to a man or woman that was on the edge of going to Crucible or not going to Crucible, the biggest thing I could say to you is do yourself a favor for once. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself an opportunity to be loved, to be heard, to be, felt, and pursue knowing yourself more and knowing God more. And you won't. I promise you won't regret going to the Crucible Project.
I think that's it.
All right.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.